What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka No C.A.P Podcast. It's your boy Evan, your boy Will. We are back out of the Tiki Hut before we go on a little vacay here for a couple weeks now. We are going to keep it short and sweet tonight. I feel like sports in general is kind of
a little mellow,
chill,
right now.
little vibe, and I think people are to say March Madness. I feel like a lot of people are trying to see how a lot of the situations that happen after the deadline kind of, how that works out. And then along with like portal opening back up, some college teams aren't even doing spring game because they're scared to lose guys. So, a lot of stuff going on, but everyone's trying to keep it under wraps. They're not trying to be so open or enthusiastic about a lot of this stuff. So even I feel like the Luka and LeBron trade, I feel like it's not blasted out there. You know what I'm saying? I feel other than the game, I was to say other than the game last night with Dallas, I feel like that's been the biggest hype since the trade.
And then the Nuggets game as well.
Yeah.
They took down the 2 seed. I think they're the 2 seed right now. Yeah. Nuggets by 23 points in Denver.
Yeah.
So
and looked good doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just Denver had a bad game. It was more to the extent that the Lakers looked that good on the road.
And with no really true big man,
Yeah.
And I'd say Luka was playing mostly on ball and kind of gave different looks to the offense, and LeBron playing off ball, which I think the Lakers play their best brand of basketball when LeBron is off the ball or not on the court, from what I've seen, to be honest.
Kinda, yeah, kinda.
But I think that they have something brewing there, and whenever you have a LeBron,
well, yeah, when you have star power like that, you should. There is no excuse to not be relevant. Yeah, shouldn't be relevant. But even in that being said, it's no big should be no problem, right? You got LeBron and Luka. Is it not we're taking into consideration that they are 2 of the top probably 10 players in the entire league?
No doubt.
So it's why
was Anthony Davis that as well?
I feel like he was. I mean, maybe. Okay, maybe not the top 10 if you want to say that. If you top 15, top 15 at the lowest. I would not say there's 14 other guys better than him.
Right.
So but
you were saying it's not unnormal to see this.
Right. I mean, how many teams do we know a Giannis and a Dame that had to add a Kuzma to get a little bit better? But it's should they have needed to add a Kuzma, or should they have just been better because it's 2 of them? You got an all-star and an MVP. It's 2 studs. So again, for me, I feel like the NBA is still kind of on the downward trend per se. I mean, I feel like it hasn't necessarily picked up by any means because of all these trades. I think the biggest thing so far has been Zion got back down to his college weight. That's been
it was 260.
Yeah, exactly. I was I don't think people understand how big he really is.
Right.
So, again, just kind of
good for him. Well, he's been up and down.
I mean, that's
his whole career.
That's on his inner circle and the team. That's his inner circle and team.
Nutritionist.
Your nutrition,
you can't pay for one or don't already have one on staff.
All the above. It's just not okay. At the end of the day, it should have never been an issue. Again, the NBA was kind of counting on him to kind of.
Yeah, he was one of those.
Get up there, help us out here, Zion.
Especially from his days at Duke, he was supposed to be one of those that was gonna kind of lead
the new generation
group.
Yeah, the next generation,
and that didn't happen the way that they wanted to.
Not at all.
On that note, though, did you see kind of rumors or stories that have been coming out about how the Dallas Mavericks got rid of Luka because he was drinking beer and smoking
fat
hookah?
And lazy or whatever? That's basically what they said. They called him fat and lazy.
They didn't like his habits.
Bro, that's the European lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
You're talking about a kid that's been a pro for the last decade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's been doing this. So it's for me, I heard that and I'm just they're acting as if
he's a child or something.
Right. You're acting as if they're his parents.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be different if they weren't winning and they were paying him millions, or if they were sucking. If they sucked and they acted as if he didn't just go to a finals, or like they didn't just take him on a big playoff. Or like they act as if something was so terrible with his habits.
How much more would they have really gotten out of him if he would have just locked in, so to speak? Probably not much.
I was gonna say, how much
maybe
better
even
can you
worse because he would have been not happy.
Right, and I think that's where
not being able to do what he wanted to do.
Everyone cries about Joker and his persona of
the horses.
The horses, he cares more about the horses. Like I don't hear Denver crying because our star player doesn't care about basketball. Like who cares? When he's on the court, he cares about basketball. When he's not, he does his life. He lives his life. Like, what do you want from the man? Like, he brought you an NBA championship. Like, he brought you to a fight. Like, I don't know. For me, like, I don't understand how a team can act like that towards their star player. Like, I'd be understood if it was something illegal or something like you were doing bad stuff. Like, being an adult and doing those things is not hit.
Yeah,
like, you can't cry about it. Like, you can't cry about it. I don't care. We're acting as if like star athletes have never done that before. Like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
somebody in the comments on one of the Instagram posts was like they were doing coke in the night.
That's what I'm saying. Like ripping cigs at halftime. Like what are we talking here? Like you guys should be so grateful he didn't have a hookah in the back, just fucking ripping it at the end of the night. Like that. I don't. That's just bothersome to me.
Still like a level,
I heard all about it.
There's still a level of discipline.
Of course,
you have to maintain as an NBA player, as a top EuroLeague player.
Right.
So why do you think that goes out of the window? Because he wants to have a little bit of vapor and a little bit of drink.
The other thing was too, like the video that was going viral of them taking away his beer after the Western Conference Final Championships.
Like, I just think he's like alcoholic.
Dude, like take a chill pill. Let the man celebrate. Like, oh my God, people. Like
he probably didn't even want whatever American.
I was saying there's probably some terrible Miller Lite. Like,
it was probably
the champagne of beer. What is it? No, what is it called?
Oh, the whole beer before liquor.
No. The champagne of beer. It's Miller, not Miller Lite.
Oh, the champagne of beer is Miller High Life.
Miller High Life. Good old Miller High Life. The champagne of beer.
It's not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad.
Dude, we used to drink Keystone Light. I mean, beer to me, anything is better than that stuff. So it doesn't even
matter.
Natty Ice. Oh, good old days.
Boy.
Woo. There's some tailgate memories there, man.
Oh, absolutely. That cheap beer.
Yep.
That cheap beer.
So good. But yeah, again, on the NBA side, hopefully they better hope Cooper Flagg doesn't get a fat chunk of change from Duke to stay one more year.
He's going to the Spurs if he doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm him, I might do it.
And he might get the top 2 picks as well.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm Cooper Flagg, I am legitimately thinking about staying one more year.
Yeah.
Like, You're telling me Duke doesn't have the money to pay him the way that an NBA team could? Duke.
I feel that Duke University. If I was in his shoes, it'd definitely be a tough. I'm sure it's a tough decision anyway.
Yeah,
but
it is for sure.
To play if the Spurs do get the first seed, I don't know when he has to decide if he's staying or not. But if the Spurs do get the first seed, and then
I don't think they announced the date
he's
yet.
Like,
but yeah.
Right, and then it's like, I'm gonna go number 1. I know that I'm gonna have a chance to play with Wembanyama. Hopefully he makes a recovery.
Hopefully
that was crazy.
CP3. I mean,
Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox, and crew, all the young talent that they have.
Because what happens if the Chris Bosh series, the Chris Bosh episode happens where he has to medically retire? Like, it's not like Chris Bosh was washed when he retired.
He definitely wasn't.
He was retired because he had to medically do it. Like, he didn't have a choice. That blood clotting is no joke. And look at this build. Look at their build. They're exactly the same. The long, lengthy, that blood flow to get to his arms, to get to his legs and back, like all that stuff makes so much sense with all the blood clot and just the physical aspects of what they look like. So
hopefully he'll make a recovery.
Yeah, pray.
They are a couple years apart, or more than just a couple.
Yeah, they're young.
Maybe technology, medical technology has advanced, and he can get that cleaned up and get back to the court because. We've been talking about it for a while. It's been a narrative between you and I. It's like, who's going to be the next face of the league? And that was
big hit.
I'd say the popular pick to be it.
Even though
he's international, I mean, you got to get over that at some point if you're the NBA.
I mean, I think the stats just came out too, though, on the social media side that over like 75% of the NBA's followers are international. So. Something like very high. It was.
Well, there's more. There's more countries outside of the U.S. than the U.S.
Right,
So,
of course.
I
And
understand
population-wise.
that.
But even still,
Yeah.
you're talking about a guy that can kind of branch out to those types of countries. I guess you do have the countries that are going to be like, oh, he's French? Ah, fuck him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't like the French here, you know? Like, you know, there are those types of people all across the world, you know? It's not just Americans or Germans or English or,
Right.
you know,
No,
there,
absolutely.
you know, there are people like that take that into consideration, especially sports people.
Yeah.
Like, Americans are probably the worst, and when we talk about well, I take that back. The British are probably the worst when it comes to like inter-country hatred, like Dallas,
that's soccer,
like Philly,
yeah.
like you talk about Man City versus Man U, like they will literally have a civil war in the middle of Liverpool
over some
soccer, like, yeah. So again, but that's where the NBA is now. So, and now I mean, getting into NFL and Hawkeye coming into play, actually, like I think they tested a few times, and I'm pretty sure it didn't work. So the fact that they're getting rid of the chain gang is probably gonna be a little.
I don't know if
sketchy.
they're getting rid of them completely.
But they are going to the
really
Hawkeye.
Stupid they are.
They're going to the Hawkeye as
but it would
first
be really
piece,
stupid.
right?
I think yes.
Yeah, that's
but
what
I think it would take away from the history of football as well as kind of a sense of legitimacy to it. Like you want to see the chains on the field.
Agreed.
I think part of the game.
It's a physical measurement aspect towards it. Like you need something to physically see.
Unless the refs are obviously fucking it up.
Of course.
They do. The South Carolina, remember?
Right. That ball don't lie though. That is the truth of it. The ball does not lie when it comes down to that.
I don't think, and also for a measure of like a level of redundancy, where I think the chains stay on the field. Yeah, use the technology, whatever, but there should be like more of like a second opinion, and also preserve the history of the sport a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I agree with that, and even still talk about history, and now the tush push. Green Bay putting in a complaint basically to say, hey, let's get rid of this play because we just got scored on like 4 times on it. Like, I think the best answer I've heard so far is do better on the play before, and you won't have to worry about that play.
True.
Like it's not to the extent like that they're cheating or something. Like just because something you can't stop doesn't make it illegal.
I will say the only thing I don't like about it is that I think it's relatively easy to maybe miss an offsides or a false start.
Both sides. Yeah. You can call it either way.
Know that it's coming.
Yeah, you can call it either way.
They know the cadences, so it's like somebody might jump a little bit before that ball.
Human
snap,
error.
Like,
how much human error can you take out of a human game? There's always gonna be human error on the offense. There's gonna be human error on defense. Human error on the
systematic risk.
Exactly. And so at the end of the day, how much human error can you truly get rid of without ruining the game?
Right.
So, I mean,
taking away that play would be closer to ruining the game.
Right.
But it would also reduce human error, I guess you could say. But that's not a good trade-off.
But again, and that's the other thing is like when you say take away that human error, does it also defeat the purpose of being the physical aspect of the game that we've been saying the last few years between the receivers and everything like that, being safeguarded by the quarterback, all that stuff that kind of has already been pushed out of the game. Remember we used to have Jacked Up on ESPN. And you got jacked up.
Yeah.
You couldn't play that now. That ain't a thing.
It's not safe.
You got Moss now, and that's I love Randy, so it's like watching Randy do You Got Moss. I mean, that was the thing you said when you bombed it on somebody. Now it's blurred, like I don't know, blurred, whatever. I mean, that's like a South Florida thing.
Another thing is that there's only really 2 teams that do the play,
right?
Which is the Eagles and the Bills.
Yep. And that's because you got the quarterback to do it.
You gotta have a quarterback for it, and you gotta have the line for it.
Right.
And like,
how many lines are there really that will do that?
Not many. Nope. Not many, to be honest.
And the only 2 lines that could probably stop it are the Eagles and the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I mean,
that's what we've seen, right?
We saw the Chiefs couldn't stop it.
Nobody else can really stop it. So
So
let them have at it.
Yeah,
If
let
you
'em
don't
go.
want it to happen, what we said at the beginning of this little segment, if you don't want it to happen,
stop it on the play before.
then you don't let it. Yeah.
Stop it. Make a better stop the play before, and that won't happen. It's that
like
simple.
playing a board game, making a mistake, and then you're like, oh wait, no, I don't want you
let's
to
go
do
back.
that.
Let's go
yeah,
back.
Can we,
Yeah.
can we go
Can we-
back?
can
Like
I-
you see what they do,
Yeah,
and
let's
you're like, no,
rewind.
can we go back?
Yeah, got to be
So-
4 steps ahead. 4
Eh.
steps ahead, man. So, I mean, NFL. We'll see how the rule changes come to play now. I mean, I think the kickoff, still has some work to do.
Yeah, you'll find out more at the combine, right?
Yeah, combine. We'll get into that here in a minute, but let's talk a little March Madness before we even get into the
okay.
combine aspect, and
we can do
then we'll
that.
finish up with that. But is it just a straight pathway to Auburn versus Duke for the championship at this point? I mean, I don't even
No,
no.
I don't think
You don't think it's a clear shot?
Well, in terms of like real March Madness,
Of
or
course.
like
Well, I mean, just overall
power
aspect,
rankings,
just overall aspects of who the top 4 seeds are, what we're looking at towards, now coming into March next week, literally.
Yeah. Still got conference championships.
Conference championships will be huge. I think that'll set the precedence for, like I don't see a lot of the big name teams that are usually there. I think a lot of it's going to be changed. Like UNC should be lucky if they make it in at this point. They're probably first in or first out.
First out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I believe that because if they don't have a good run on.
But they have those 2 little extra or the 4 extra playing games now, or something like that.
Yeah.
So they might get in.
But I mean, there's so many SEC teams that are going to make it in. It's honestly insane.
Yes.
Like I legitimately have never seen the SEC so dominant in the basketball era in my entire life.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, I know you'll get your Memphises, your Marquettes, your Creightons, and they always come in. They always ruin somebody's parade. And then somebody's parties always gets rained out by one of those Big East teams or
those blue collar and blue chip teams.
I'm telling you, come out of nowhere and they just give it to you because that's Gonzaga. Gonzaga comes in and dominates somebody. I think my biggest fear, and I got to see them play us at Maui, or us meaning Auburn, is Iowa State, and they're still hanging around that bracket where they might be in the same bracket as us. So
I like St. John's. I like St. John's
looks
back.
really good.
They're back.
They look really good.
That Big East basketball.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna have to carry a season, this is gonna be it for sure for the Big East at least. But yeah, I mean, and then there's who's out west. Arizona, they're pretty good still.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. Yep. Again, one of those teams that you don't really hear about untilCh comes around, and all of a sudden they just ruin somebody's parade.
It's always like St. Mary's and Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference
come at
final.
them, and then they just ruin somebody's entirety. So
other than that, out west, I mean, it depends how west you want to say west is. BYU,
that's pretty west.
Look nice
BYU,
this year.
Yeah, they look good.
They're about to get a nice addition.
I was gonna say they're gonna look real good next year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I mean, and then your Texas teams, there's always Houston's
up there. What are they? Top 10 still, right?
No, they're 4th now.
Oh, 4th. They're back up there. They're back up there. Okay.
Carrying the Big 12.
Yeah, literally. So
yeah, it's a lot of SEC.
Is
this
Michigan
year.
there? Where's the Big 10 at?
8th.
Okay.
Oh, Michigan State's 8th. Sorry, Michigan is 15th.
Okay, so they're still
15th.
top 25. So
yeah, Michigan.
They're very, very underappreciated right now. I believe
Especially
with having a new coach, a lot of new faces on that team. They got Trey Donaldson, who was a transfer from Auburn because he wasn't going to play over Denver. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So it's crazy to think how quickly March has come around now. And even for, how quickly Denver and I talked about it. I just called him the other week, and I was like, I feel like we just had this conversation about the season starting like it was yesterday. So
30 games?
Yeah, literally. Already done.
I'll make it count.
Crazy. So, but yeah, and like you were bringing up before, too, going to the Combine, I leave tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, tomorrow. Combine starts tomorrow.
You're gone all week, right?
Yeah, Sunday.
So Thursday to next Sunday?
No, not next Sunday. It's Thursday.
Oh, it's all weekend.
No, it's all weekend. Thursday.
I thought it was okay.
It's Thursday, Friday. So most of the boys came in on Tuesday. They had their interview. So basically every day the new group of guys came in. So it's like offensive line or D line came in on Tuesday. So they did their interviews Tuesday. Then the DBs and tight ends came in on Wednesday, did their interviews, and Thursday starts the combine. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it kind of goes on each day. You have prep for your interviews, and then the next day you do your on the field stuff.
Okay.
So for me, the agent seminar is Friday. So Friday, I'll be up there tomorrow night. So Friday, I'll go to the seminar. After that, go to the combine. But then after the combine, there's a bunch of meetings. We have Dolphins, Carolina, Arizona, and waiting on Jacksonville right now. But they have a new GM, so I don't know who's going to be there still. I've reached out to a few people, but
those are your meetings.
Yeah, meetings while I'm there. Yeah, so Friday, Saturday,
for
Friday night, Saturday.
clients?
Yeah, well, just all the boys,
Right?
Everyone to kind of talk it over. Shake hands, kiss babies, stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what's important,
That's
right?
what the whole reason we do this. So
Keeping the network.
exactly, and so those meetings, obviously, love to get in touch with all 32 teams, but everyone, it's kind of crazy, honestly speaking, like the amount of. I mean, you don't have enough. Like you're there that long, like say 4 days, but it's really not that long, and especially because everyone's doing something.
You're always doing something.
Literally every day. Something.
So it's also tough to like meet up with people too.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's on the go.
You're waiting.
It's like the summer league. We've seen it.
Yeah, and it's literally the
Everyone's on
same
the go,
concept.
yeah.
Like, hey, I'll meet you here. Hey, I'll meet you at this exit. Hey, I'll meet. Hey, you want to?
Meet you in the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's exactly it. So that's kind of the hard parts about those relationships, trying to build them in a capacity like that,
Right.
where not only am I there for an agent seminar with every other agent that's there, but it's also every GM, every scout, every coach, every this, that, and the other, and it's like trying to get just 5 minutes to, hey, what's up, Evan? Nice to meet you. These are my guys. Blah 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 blah. Done done and done. So having that time, and then Saturday I'm going to the Kentucky versus Auburn at Kentucky.
Okay,
so it's
I see.
So it's like Saturday. Thank God it's a 1:00 game. So it's like it'll be done by 3:30, so I can get back up for my nighttime meetings at like 6, 7, and the combine goes till 9.
Is there a time difference between Indiana and what?
Lexington?
Kentucky? Or
I don't think so. Maybe?
No.
No, I don't
No.
know. I don't think so.
they're like at the end of
I was gonna say that Eastern time zone's probably right there. But either way, I mean, 1 hour doesn't really make a difference for me with regards to my time frame because it's all pushed back towards the end of the night, anyways.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same, right? Yeah, that's
Eastern
what I
time.
thought. So, but anyways, it's more to the extent that like, hey, during that time I have so much going on. Like I had some guy, this kid Chris, who does a lot of like social media and stuff like that. He hit me up and he's like, he's gonna be at the combine. He's like, do you want me to shoot anything for you? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't think there's anything to shoot for me. Like, you can't come to the seminar. I mean, unless you just want to see me dressed up walking into the combine or something. That could be pretty dope.
Could try out like an interview with someone, like a small interview.
Yeah, I'd probably do a little short
yeah,
no cap. Yeah, something like that.
Just an idea.
Yeah, no, that's something. I definitely bring the tripod and all that stuff. So no big deal there. But
or you could have them just follow you around the whole time, make you like a
but like I
like
feel
a
like
montage.
that's so lame.
By now, yeah, maybe.
I mean, if it was like
it's cool for like when you first starting
got,
out, you're trying to make a splash.
Yeah, well, that too, but also if I had clients at the combine.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's go check in on my clients, and then like like something like that, like welcome to my crib.
Well, I was just thinking that, like HGTV, let's go check out the house.
Yeah. So something like that might have been tight, but like since I don't have specific clients at the combine participating, it's like not really.
You have pro days coming up.
Pro days would be something I would like to, if I can find somebody in the area to kind of like, hey, let's go get ready for a pro day with my guys. Boom. So, but other than that, like we said, kind of chill episode. Nothing too crazy happening on the sports world. Will's going on a little vacay. I'll be back from combine next week, and then we'll chop it up with you guys when we get back. So, any last notes from you, Will?
Nah, just make sure you keep subscribing, checking out the channel.
Yep.
Got a lot of different stuff on there.
Oh,
Shorts, Instagram, TikTok.
Yep. TikTok's been hitting recently, honestly speaking. I saw some of those. I mean, the notifications have been I'd like to get the following up a little bit more, but the
Right.
likes are really starting to hit on some of those
Yeah.
videos. So
And if you don't want to watch, you can always listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts under the same name. So
for sure. So
all that stuff, multiple channels, multiple outlets.
All you podcasters, sports podcasters, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. We appreciate you all. And we always take comments and criticism. Give us what you got so we can get better.
Absolutely.
So anything like that. But we appreciate you guys. This is another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka No Cap Podcast. Your boy Will, your boy Evan, and we are out.
Peace.